Hello friends, welcome to the video lecture series on data analysis with the help of Python Pandas library. So in this tutorial we are going to see about how one can remove the duplicate data available inside your data set. So let's see how we can do it. So for that we are going to see the two different scenario, how we can drop the duplicate data along the whole row and how one can drop the duplicate data with respect to some particular column. So for that I have already created the sample data frame data sets and I have made the necessary imports. So I have created one data frame object. Now let me just run it and display the data frame. So let's just display and see what are the datas are there and how we can apply the drop duplicate function on the top of this data frame. So if you carefully observe this data frame, it has two columns, C1 and C2, and the first column contains all numbers written in words. So 1 1 1 1 1. So along the first four row the C1 column is almost repeated, and afterwards there is a three more rows whose value is 2. So this is also repeated two times. So there are only two unique value across the column C1. If you observe this column C2, there is a 1 1 2 2 3 3 and a 4. So 2 value corresponding to 1, 2 value corresponding to 2, 3 2 value corresponding to 3 and 1 value corresponding to 4. So there are 4 unique value, 1 2 3 and 4, and apart from 4 all other values are repeated at least once. Now let's see how we can apply this drop duplicate along the whole row. So Pandas will providing drop underscore duplicate functionality, which will do the dropping across the whole row. Now how it will decide that whether this corresponding row is duplicated or not. So it will just start checking with the first row, second row. The moment it finds the exact duplication of the data across the both the row or across the all columns available. So if you see this 1 and 1, the second is 1 and 1, so definitely you should discard this. Now again 1 and 2, but only column C1 is repeated, column C2 is not repeated, so it will consider it as a different record, so it won't drop it. Now again 1 and 2, so 1 and 2 is already came here, so it will drop it. Now let's see how what are the results will come. Okay, so it has discarded the first record because 1 and 1 is repeated. Now 2 and third record also it has discarded, so 1 and 2 it is discarded. 4 it has taken into account, and fifth has been discarded, so because 2 and 3 is already repeated, but sixth one it has not discarded because it has not come earlier. So while dropping the duplicate, it will just search for exact value across all the columns available in a data frame. If all the values of each and every column has an exact match with the earlier records, then only it will duplicate. But this is with searching for each and every column. Now let's see how one can drop the duplicate with respect to some particular column. So before that, let me just print this df so you can make good comparison with respect to our drop duplicate output. So suppose we want to drop with respect to just C1. So C1 has just two unique values, so it should give the output only 2 records. So for that we'll just supply the list of value and the column name as a list. So what it will do the dropping of all records with respect to the column C1. So it won't taken into account the column C2. Only with respect to C1 it will just calculate whether that particular record exists earlier or not. So let's see, very first record is 1, so it has no, this is just first record, so we'll put it into our bucket list. Now second is 1, it is repeated, so it will just simply discard it. It won't just compare the with respect to the column C2. The second record 1 and 2, again 1 is repeated. Even if 2 is not repeated earlier, it won't take into account. So 1 is repeated, so it will discard this second record also. In a third record also 1 2, again it will discard because 1 is already we have taken into basket. Now 2, now TW2 is has not came earlier with respect to column C1, so it will put it inside the bucket list. Now 2 is, again it will discard this fifth record because 2 is already available. 2 is again available in a sixth record, so it will discard it. So with respect to C1, let's see how, what are the results will come. Okay, so as per our expectation, we have got the two results, 1 and 2, the 0th record and 4th record, because it will just compare with respect to the C1 column. So this one and this one, so 1 and 1 and 2 and a 3, 2 and 3. So we got the 0th record and a 4th record. Now this is with respect to C1. Now let's see with respect to C2, another column, what results we'll get it. Okay, so with respect to C2 there are 4 unique values, so we have got already 4 values, 1 2 3 and 4. The second record is repeated because that's why it is discarded. This third record is also third record means the index is having a value 3. Then fifth record is also repeated, so it has discarded it. So 0 2 4 and 6. So if you observe it, 0 2 4 and a 6, which is having a non-repeated value 1 2 3 and 4 with respect to column C2, so it has not discarded it. Remaining all value it has discarded with respect to C1. So till now we have seen that how you can drop the duplicate value across the all the columns, means across the particular along the whole row, means across the all column, or with respect to particular column C1 or C2. Now suppose we want to drop duplicate with respect to multiple columns, so same way you can supply multiple values as a array C1 and C2. So we have got 0 2 4 and 6th record, which we exactly get it here without supplying any kind of argument, because we have just 2 columns. In case we have a more than 2 columns, and if we have supplied, our result might have been different, but here we are going to make a comparison and we are dropping the duplicate value with respect to column C1 and C2, and as we have just 2 columns C1 and C2, so it will just exactly behave as this functionality, drop duplicate without any argument. So that way you can make a comparison with respect to multiple columns also. So that's it for this lecture, friends. I hope you enjoy listening this video. Please do like, comment and subscribe it.